okay.
So we're live.
So we are live. Let's come to a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. Bring your hands to heart center. And start to arrive at your mat by taking a few deep breaths. Feeling the chest rise on the inhales and fall on the exhales. On the next inhale, let's lift the arms, keeping the palms together, shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, we're bending the elbows, palms come behind the head, lower the chin towards the chest. Keep up with the deep breathing. And try to bring right ear turned towards the right shoulder. Just breathe. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale back to neutral. We're lifting the hands up high. Exhale, the palms are pushing together, elbows are wide, shoulders are engaged. When you get back to heart center, lower the chin towards the chest. Take a full inhale. A cleansing exhale through the mouth. Relax your hands, maybe roll the wrists around. Next inhale, let's lift the arms. Again, keeping the shoulders down. Exhale, we're bringing the right palm to the mat, stretching over to the right side, pushing the left hip down to the floor. Inhale, center. Exhale, left palm down. We're going the opposite way. Inhale, rise. One more time each side. Exhale, down. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, rise. On the exhale, we're turning towards the right, then bringing our arms down. Then gaze over the shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn with your core towards the left. Arms come down, gaze over the shoulder. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, let's bring our palms down, working our way to tabletop. If it's not comfortable for you, don't roll over your knees. You can pad your wrists by rolling your mat. The same with your knees. You can roll the mat from the bottom to pad your knees. On an inhale, we're lifting the chin, opening the collarbone, letting the belly hang low. Exhale, tuck the chin, tailbone comes under. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Inhale to a neutral spine. We're lifting this right arm up, opening in the rib cage, keeping the hips in line. Exhale, come down, nice and slow. We're feeding it under the left arm, cheek to the mat. Sink into this bottom arm, and then extend the left palm. Option 2, also fold your arm behind you if you like that better. Exhale, bring the left palm close to the shoulder. On the inhale, we lift and open. Exhale down. Inhale, left palm rises. Exhale down nice and slow. We're feeding it under the right arm. Sink into that bottom shoulder. Hips stay in the air. Exhale, bring the right palm close to your shoulder. Inhale, we lift. Exhale down. From here, let's tuck our toes. On an exhale, we're sending our hips up and back for our first down dog. This one's gonna be tight. So take your time, pedal your feet out one at a time. We're trying to get our heels close to the mat. It's okay if they don't go all the way. Inhale, shift your weight forward to plank or drop the knees for modified plank. And on an exhale, we're sinking all the way down, belly, chest, chin. On an inhale, our upper body is engaged. We're lifting with our core. There is no weight in our palms. Exhale, tuck the toes. We're folding back over the knees, downward facing dog. Just getting everything moving. There's lots of pops and clicks to work through. Take full breaths here. We're pushing our shoulders out, away, towards our hips. On an inhale, let's lift these right toes, keeping our hips square to the floor. We're bending that right knee and hinging the hips open. Upper body faces the mat. We're going to take 2 full breaths here. On the exhale, bring this right palm back to the floor, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot rises. Same thing, we're trying to push our right heel down. We're bending the left knee and hinging the hip open. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the floor. Let's plant the knees. They can be wide or together. And we're shifting into a child's pose. So hips towards heels. Rest your forehead. Take a few deep breaths. We're going to do 3. On an inhale, let's shift our weight forward, tabletop. We're gonna lift this left arm and extend the right foot. On an exhale, we're bringing knee to elbow, so you have to lift up and curl under. Exhale, open. Twice more, inhale. Exhale, open. One more time, inhale. Exhale, open. Relax back down to the mat. And just take a pause here. Maybe just tuck the toes and shift your weight back towards your feet. Before we do the other side, we're giving our wrists a little bit of a break. Okay, inhale, come forward. And this time, right arm lifts left leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. We're coming to neutral. Relax back to the floor. Tuck the toes. Shift your weight back. Downward facing dog. From here, let's walk the palms back towards the feet. So we're forward folding at the back of our mat. You always want a little bit of bend in the knee, but the legs are relatively straight. And if you feel stable, reach for opposite elbows. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, bend the knees deeply, relax the arms, and we're rolling all the way back up. Inhale, arms lift. We're clasping the hands above us, releasing the index finger. Our feet are hip width apart. On an exhale, we're bending over towards the right. So our lower body stays exactly where it is. So with every inhale, we're trying to lengthen. With every exhale, we're trying to sink a little lower, even if it's just a tiny bit. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left now. Inhale, rise. On an exhale, so bring your hands, you can release your forefinger, your index finger. On an exhale, we're coming down to heart center. Sitting in your chair. Tuck the hips under. You don't want to sway back here. So we're bringing the pelvis forward and we're sitting in our chair. When you get to parallel, we're trying to turn with our core. Right elbow to left knee. And you want to look down and make sure that you're not like hinging your knees. Like you want them to be the same distance. We're trying to look up over past our left elbow. Forefinger. Inhale, we're lifting all the way up. Exhale, sit in that chair again. Bring that pelvis forward, hands to heart center. We're turning towards the right now. Left elbow, right knee. Inhale, come back to center all the way up. Exhale, we're swan diving towards the floor. Walk your palms to the front of your mat, step your feet back. We're coming into plank or drop the knees for modified plank. On an exhale, we're sinking all the way down. Belly, chest, chin, or you can hover in chaturanga. Inhale, lift up for baby cobra or pull yourself through for up dog. Exhale, we're tucking those toes, rolling back over, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right toes, keeping our hips square to the floor. Exhale, we're swinging this right foot through, planting our hands. Drop the back foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. We're engaging everything here, so squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs and your core. On an inhale, we're coming all the way up to warrior two. Inhale, we're flipping the front palm. Exhale, lift up and back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, elbow to knee, and we're reaching up and over, trying to gaze at our fingertips. Inhale, back up to warrior two. From here, we're straightening our front leg, hinging the hips forward, and coming down to side angle. This is where if you need support, you can have a block here. On an inhale, we're rebending that front knee, coming up to warrior two. Exhale, we're cartwheeling our hands around the front foot, turning those back toes forward, sending the right foot back to meet the left, and shifting into downward facing dog. Next, inhale, left foot rises. Take a full inhale. Exhale, we're swinging the left foot through, planting it between our palms, dropping the right foot, engaging everything, and coming into warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, we're lifting up and back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, elbow to knee. We're reaching overhead with the right, gazing at the fingertips. Inhale, back up. We're straightening our front leg, shifting the weight forward. Exhale, down. On an inhale, rebend your front knee. We're coming all the way up, warrior two. Exhale, we're gonna cartwheel our hands down around the front foot, but this time, let's walk our hands to the middle. So we're turning our feet, so we're sideways on our mat now. On an exhale, again, a little bit of give in your knee, in both knees, but on an exhale, we're just folding forward. So wide-legged forward fold, let your head be heavy, let your jaw be loose. We're breathing into the spine and the backs of our legs. Let's plant this right palm down in front of our face. And on an inhale, we're lifting with the right arm, hinging open, trying to open the rib cage, taking a full breath. Exhale back down to center. We're replacing the right palm with the left. Inhale, open up the opposite way. Exhale back down. Let's walk our palms again to the front of our mat, turning our feet, sending the left foot back to meet the right, unless you're opposite. No, okay, you're good. Let's drop the knees wide, toes together, shifting the weight back towards our heels. Walk the palms forward, taking a deep child's pose. So give your shoulders and wrists a break. Send your exhales to those tight places. On an inhale, let's push into our palms and just walk them all the way over to the left side. And then try to rest the forehead back down onto the floor. On an inhale, come back up to your palms and walk all the way over now to the right side. Exhale down. Inhale, let's walk back to center. We're shifting our weight forward to tabletop. Bring the knees a little closer together. And from here, we're tucking our toes, shifting our weight back, downward facing dog. This time, let's walk our feet up close to our hands. On an exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Reach for opposite elbows. This one should feel a little easier than the first time. Breathe back into those hamstrings. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, we're bending the knees deeply. Relax the arms. We're just rolling all the way up. Come to standing. We're pulling the arms down, engaging the shoulders. And on an exhale, we're just bringing right ear to right shoulder. We're gonna do some standing neck stretches. So you should feel the deep pull in between the base of the skull and the collarbone on the left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, opposite direction. Left ear, left shoulder. Inhale back up to center. Relax your arms. Let's do a little bit of balancing before we get down on our mat, before we lay down and start stretching. Okay, so last week we did figure four. Want to try that again? Okay, so with figure four, we'll start on the right side. And if you need to go up close to a wall so you have something to balance onto, I would recommend that. So we're planting all of the weight in the right foot, in the right leg, and you want a little bit of give in the knee again. But your leg is strong like a tree trunk. Like this is your grounding. And you can start off by finding a drishti point, a point high on the wall that's not moving. But with this one, we're actually folding forward, so you won't be able to keep that. But it's to help you keep your balance. So hands to heart center. We're finding our drishti point, and on an exhale, we're bringing this left ankle to the right knee, and the left foot stays flexed. And nice and slow, we're basically doing a one-legged squat. So we're trying to get to parallel is the goal. You might not get there, and if you need, again, to hold something instead of hands at heart center, that's totally fine. So we're trying to sit until we get parallel, and then round forward. Maybe even tucking your foot in that elbow. But balancing postures force you to focus on every movement that you're doing. So try to come out of this just as slowly. So we stand up and unfold. And then exhale, just let it go. Shake it out. It's done. The next time you do it will be totally different, either better or worse, but don't judge it. Okay, so opposite side. Left foot plants. It's your strong tree trunk leg. Find your drishti point. Full inhale. On the exhale, we're bringing this right ankle with the foot flexed above the knee, and we're sinking into our chair. When you feel like you're low enough, Try to roll, round out the spine. And if you could fall out of it, it's fine. And just come back in. Try to take a full inhale while you're in it. And come out just as controlled as you went in. Exhale, let go. All right, yay. Okay, so let's start to wind down just a little bit. Are you guys feeling okay?
Good.
Okay, all right. So let's come back to our mat. And on an inhale, we're lifting up high. Exhale, swan diving towards the floor. This time we're just walking our feet out. Drop the knees. Shift your weight back. This time a closed kneed child's pose. On an inhale, let's shift our weight forward, and we're gonna sit on our mat sideways with the left leg extended, right leg is bent in. On an inhale, we're lifting the arms. Exhale, turn towards your extended leg. We're bringing the palms down on either side of the leg. Rounding out the spine, trying to keep this right hip down on the floor.
Easier said than done.
It is. So with this one, we're trying to wait for our body to relax. It's really tight here. We're targeting all that connective tissue in the low back. On an exhale, let's slide back to center and take a pause. Next inhale, arms lift again. But this time we're relaxing our left arm, our body's face forward, and we're just leaning over to the left side, hanging in space. Again, trying to keep the right side down towards the mat. Inhale, lift back to center. Exhale, right palm plants behind the right hip, and we're using the right knee as a kickstand to push ourselves up and stretch long. We're coming up and out of this bottom shoulder. We're not sinking down in it. And try to create a long line between the tips of your left fingers and toes. Exhale, sink back to the floor. And we're switching legs. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, turn towards the extended leg. Arms come on either side. Rounding out the spine and head. On an inhale, just slide back to center. Next inhale, arms lift again. On an exhale, we're just leaning towards the right this time, relaxing that arm. Feeling a deep stretch down the left side. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, left hand plants. Use the left knee as a kickstand. We're pushing up and out of that shoulder, stretching long. Exhale, come down. Let's face forward on our mat again. And we can come back to our backs. Just take a second to get used to the floor. Bring your knees in, rock side to side. Let's come back to center, and we're planting our feet close to our glutes, so you can touch your heels. Feet are hip width apart. Our arms are just laying palm down onto the floor for now. Take a full inhale. And on the exhale, we're engaging our core, we're squeezing our butt and legs, and we're coming up into bridge. So you don't want your knees to splay out or come in. They're directly in line with your hips. On an exhale, we're rolling back to the floor, one vertebra at a time. We'll come into bridge again, this time using the arms. So on an inhale, we're engaging everything, pushing up, and then slowly, one shoulder at a time, we're rolling it underneath our bodies and trying to clasp our hands. If you can get there, and then we're pulling our arms straight. So we're opening up the whole front side of our body. Trying to take full breaths. Release the hands. And on your next exhale, we're unrolling one shoulder at a time and then sending the spine back to the floor. Hug your knees in, rock side to side. So you have the option to do that one more time, or you can take it a step further into wheel. So if you do bridge again, do it the same way, just clasp your fingers the opposite direction. That'll give you a little way to spice it up. If you want to do wheel, instead of the hands coming forward, our palms are actually planting over our shoulders. And you have to be careful with your elbows here. You want to keep them, again, in line with your body. Elbows in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. You don't want anything splaying out or coming in. Take a full inhale. And on the exhale, everything engages at once. And we're pushing up and out. Taking full breaths, opening up the front side of the body. Slowly coming out, tuck your chin first. We're lowering down one vertebra at a time. Hug the knees in and rock it out. From here, let's plant this left foot. Right ankle crosses over. Arms come out wide, palms face up. On an exhale, both legs come over to the left side. You're gonna feel this down the right low back and hip. An option to use your left hand to hold this right ankle. If you feel like you're sliding on position, it does make it more intense. On an exhale, let's roll back to center. Uncross your feet, bring them both to 90 degrees. This time, cactus your arms. So they're still, our shoulders are still on the floor, but instead of being wide, our arms are like a cactus. And this time on the exhale, both knees come all the way over to the right side. So we're trying to keep this left shoulder on the floor. If it's too much pressure on the low back, you can tuck a block or a blanket or a bolster, something underneath your knees so that you don't have to come all the way to the floor. On an exhale, let's roll back to center. Just plant your feet for a moment. Windshield wipe the knees back and forth this time. From here, we're planting our right foot now. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. That foot stays flexed. Arms come out to a T again. Palms face up. On an exhale, both legs come over to the right. Option to hold this ankle for support. And exhale, let's come back to the center. Uncross your feet, bring them to 90 degrees. Elbows come, bend your elbows, come to dough cactus or goalpost position. Exhale, both legs come over to the left side now. This right shoulder is going to want to pop up. We're trying to let it come back to the floor. Come back to center. Just relax your arms, bring your legs to your feet to the floor. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat and your knees together. So we're coming into an internal rotation. And just try to allow your low back to sink down towards the mat. It's going to feel awkward. Take a full inhale. And on the exhale, we're bringing both knees over to the right. So come up onto your heels so that you can shift your feet, your knees over, and then we're just going to relax and be passive. So essentially we're focusing on the left hip flexors here. So you could really even just bring the right leg down, but you want to be protective of the knee. So there should not be any pinching or burning. And we're just going to hold this for a few seconds. It's just a passive stretch to open up that front hip. Inhale back up to center. And on the exhale, both knees over to the left side now. Inhale, come back to center. Let's just walk our feet long. So So you can stretch your toes, like bring your arms overhead. We're just stretching as long as we can. From here, let's roll over to our left side. You guys are facing me over to your left side, using your arm as a pillow. The right leg is bent and the knees on the floor in front of us. And we're reaching for our left toes. If you can't reach your toes, you can use a strap. But try to be mindful that you're not clenching anything. So you might have to do a body scan and like release one muscle at a time. It's very easy to clench here. But the only thing that should be working is this right arm. On an exhale, release your toes, come back to your side. And from here, we're placing the right foot, planting it behind the left leg, opening up the hip flexors on this side. Option 2, bring right arm behind you if you want a shoulder opener. On an exhale, let's release back to our side. And we're actually going to come face down on our mat before we roll up to the other way. So just bring your forehead down, palms are hugged in close, facing down, reverse Shavasana. And try to take a few deep breaths, feeling how your ribs press into the mat on both your inhales and exhales. From here, we're going to come up onto our forearms. So our elbows are still tucked in, but we're pushing up and out of the shoulders here. Our low back is totally relaxed. Lower body is relaxed. So the only thing working here is our arms and shoulders. And you want to make yourself like a little platform with your arms so that you can open up the neck and chest. So we're just holding here. Exhale, we're rolling all the way back down, reverse Shavasana. And from here, we're working our way over to our right side, using your arm as a pillow again. This time the left leg is bent and on the floor in front of us. And we're reaching for our right toes. Once you get into position, consciously unclench your glutes and your quads that are probably working on accident. Exhale, release your foot, come back to your side. Next exhale, we're planting the left foot behind the right leg, opening up that hip. Option to fold left hand behind you. On an exhale, release, come back to your side. We're actually going to work our way up to seated. So we're facing forward on our mat. And if you can come to easy seat. If this is not comfortable for you, you don't like to have your, if it hurts your knees to stay in easy seat, you can just place the soles of your feet together. But we're gonna do a little forward folding hip opener here. So find your sit bones, and on an exhale, we're just walking our palms forward until your low back wants to like come up off the floor, when your hips wanna come up off the floor. And this is where we exhale and just round down. Obviously, if you have the soles of your feet together, you're not gonna be able to forward fold as far, but it's fine. Like, you're still targeting the low back and hips. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, we're rolling up to center. Moving into some neck stretches again. This time, option to sit on your palms with either your palms facing the mat or facing your body. It does change. So if your palms are facing the floor, you're gonna stretch the back sides of your arms. If your palms are facing your body, you're gonna get the insides of your arms. So you choose. On an exhale, we're gonna go left ear, left shoulder. And slowly turn nose to armpit. On an exhale, roll your way chin to chest, stopping wherever you get a good stretch. When you're ready, work your way up to the right side. Turn your nose towards this armpit. Inhale your way back to center. Exhale, release your hands. Maybe roll the wrist, let the blood come back in. And we're almost finished. Let's do a little spinal twisting. So extend your legs. Let's cross left leg over the right, and we're planting that foot. On an inhale, let's lift the arms up high. Exhale, we're turning towards the left, then bringing the arms down. Then gaze over the shoulder. So here you can use your elbow as leverage against your knee to twist a little deeper if you want. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, we're just going to take a little counter stretch. So just try to bring the palms over to the opposite side. Inhale, release. We're going to let go of our legs and switch sides. Right foot plants on the other side of the left. Inhale, arms come up high. Exhale, return towards the right, then bringing the arms down and turning the gaze. Inhale forward. Exhale, take your counter stretch. And exhale, we release. And just come down to your backs for Shavasana. So just let everything be relaxed here. When you're ready, just roll over to your right side and take a few final breaths there. When everyone's ready, I'll meet you at seated. Take your time. So take a moment to think about how you're feeling differently now compared to when you first started today. Know that no matter what's going on in your life, you always have this peace, this escape waiting for you. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today. And thank you for taking my class. Namaste.
Namaste.